as well. And you can see, as I said earlier, these are more static things. We don't add many pages very often, but we can do. We have to add them then to the menu if we want them to be seen on the website. So shall we have a look at your Operation London Bridge page?
Okay. Yeah, that's statutory documents. That's one I've added recently.
Okay.
I'll come back to that one in a second. Yeah.
Fab. Okay, no problem at all. So I can see you've used the layout builder here.
Okay. Well, that was more luck than judgment, because obviously this is a page. Well, I thought that's probably what you would do anyway, is create an initial page, and then you'd click on the link to go through. Just reading what how they should work for London, Operation London Bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a plugin that we've developed for Operation London Bridge as well. We haven't installed it or even told many people about it, but it's something that we've thought about, and we'll install it on all of our websites, unless you've already got something set up.
Well, the reason I started to do it, I thought, well, one, I probably should be capable of doing it, but I think it wasn't you, it was another website company, and they were on a selling pitch, and there was a cost to implement.
Yeah, £99 from a company called NetWiz, Net something or other. Yeah, we've been made aware of that, and
I just thought, well, all it is a black page with the picture of the Queen and a one step.
Yeah, for £100. Was that good value for money or not? I'm not sure, but we've spent time working on it, and it's a freebie. We're giving it out with all of our websites. It's not something we'd look to charge for. Okay. It seems almost a bit weird profiteering off someone's passing, but there you go.
And it's not just anyone, is it?
No, exactly. It's not. So I did see what you did, and I did edit this page maybe a month or two ago, so I hope you don't mind. But what it was I saw what you were trying to do, and I think you wanted the full screen like we've got now. And all I did was choose the template. So I wanted a blank template with no header and no footer.
Right.
I'm not sure. Maybe you did do that. Maybe you didn't. And then I added the black background to the section. So you're in a section. You've got content in a section. And then I made that background, that color section, I made it 100% of browser height, so it takes up the whole page, and I gave it a black background as well.
Yeah, I remember. It's a while since I did, but I remember going in and using some of these settings and changing to black. But whatever I did, I always had, the background on the screen.
Yeah.
That field image.
Yeah, so it would have been, if I put it back to the default template now and I just save that draft, we can have a look at that. Reload. That was it, I think.
Yeah,
that's what you saw before. So using the blank template does exactly what it says on the tin. Blank, no header, no footer. It fills that page.
And it's also making it full width, isn't it?
Yes, it's making it full width. So a color section will be full width of the page as well, but no header, no footer, I think is full width. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to publish it. Sorry, I want to keep it.
No, we don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to do that. I'm just so used to hitting the publish button. That's the thing. Right.
I mean, in this particular case, we would just go with your plugin, I would think, as and when it gets launched. But it was, it's a good little exercise.
I think it's great, and then it prompted me to actually consider our plugin and the way the plugin works. It's a pop-up, our own plugin, where it takes up the full screen. We have an image over on the left-hand side, and we have text over on the right. I don't think I've got a preview of it, actually. I'll have a quick look. But you can fill in the text, and it's all just in the general settings for the plugin, so it's separate. But it's one of these things that we're going to publish a blog article about, a news post, and push it out there and get people.
Now you mentioned that. Now, so do you do that then, like a newsletter thing?
We don't.
All right.
No, we don't. We've never done that. We're not marketers, really, if I'm being very honest. We don't sell. We have a lot of people come to us for websites, which is a fantastic compliment, of course. But I think if we were trying to be a bit more vocal about what we do, then we will do something like a newsletter and start doing that as well. Case studies on our own website. And
well, the reason I mention it is you've obviously added that accessibility plugin. We'll come on to that, the details on that a little bit later. But for example, nobody was aware of that. It just appeared one day.
Yeah.
Whereas I guess if there was like a newsletter saying, this is the latest thing, this is what we're doing, there's a new feature here. Oh, and by the way, there's an accessibility plugin now automatically installed. We were probably being aware of it, but I mean, it's not a bad thing, and it prompted me to go and research, where you've got it from and the ins and outs of it. So
Sure.
we'll come back to that one.
No, you are absolutely right. It would be nice to know with some of these things as well, and just to sort of make you aware that we're doing things in the background. I think more than anything is that we are looking after the website. We are considering all the parts going forward, and trying to do the best with compliance and things like that as well.
Yes.
So
Okay.
no, that's great. I'll get off this page though, Stephen. We'll start a new page if you like with the layout builder, and I'll talk you through that. So I'm just going to add a new one by clicking on add new. And as you rightly said before, we have the standard WordPress layout editor, which is very basic. What you see is what you get WYSIWYG editor that you would maybe see in Word or any other desktop publishing software. A few basic tools there with formatting, things like that. Our advanced layout editor, it gives you another layer of, I don't want to say complexity, but another layer of making a layout as you probably could imagine it. So for example, if you say, well, I want 3 columns and I want a picture in the middle and I want 2 columns of text on the left and the right of that, so that's quite difficult to do with the default editor. But with the advanced layout editor, you can bring down columns and add them into a page. So if I was going to do that, and I say I do want 3 columns, I'd click on a 1/3 column there, and it creates a third of a page worth width of column, which I can then fill with content. And I want another one there, and maybe I want a third one over here. Okay. So it's a drag and drop builder.
Just a question: is this then your own proprietary layout builder, or is it one that's available in the marketplace?
You can't buy it as an individual plugin, no. So it's not something that you could go and add to another website. It's part of a theme, and this is the theme we're using.
Okay.
So I think it's very good. Personally, I think it's very good. So I've brought down these 3 columns here, and this is under my layout elements tab. So we've got layout elements, content elements, media elements, documents. Of course, that relates to our documents over here on the left. We've got council members, which again relates to our councillors, agendas and minutes, which relates to the agendas and minutes, and plugin additions, so for the events calendar over here at the top. So it ties in with a few different sections. So I'm going to bring down some content elements. Maybe I want to bring down a special heading. It just says hello at the moment. Maybe I want to bring down some text as well. And I'll duplicate that twice because there's a clone element link there, which allows me just to create a clone very quickly. And in fact, I can clone columns very quickly as well by cloning what we've got. And that will take out, copy the content over as well. So very quickly, I've got 3 columns of content very visually. And you can see how that was put together. So test page, I'm just going to give it a title, and I'm going to publish that. And on the front end of the website, you should expect to see it in the same sort of way that we've laid it out. So 3 columns, 3 hello boxes, 3 text boxes.
And you've on the right-hand side there, you had the default template. So yeah,
that's right.
Is that what all the other pages are done in?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So default template, you can remove that sidebar as well. So we have the sidebar down here on the right hand side. Maybe you don't want to have the sidebar on there. So you say no sidebar in your layout settings, update again. And then you have a full width page now. And maybe that's quite nice to play with. Maybe you want a full width page. Okay. Click into any one of these elements and you get a few more options. So you can have your heading type, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, up to 6. Apply a link to that text, different style. I like the heading style modern left because it's a bit simple, gets rid of that line that's over there on the right. Default size, change your text size. So let's go with a 26 pixel. Well, it didn't really do a lot. Let's go with a 60 pixel, big hello. No subheading, I'm quite happy with that. A few options for your spacing, so your margins, your padding at the bottom of the element. Colors as well. Maybe you want a different color for that text. Well, I would like a dark blue color. And you do get the preview, maybe a pink actually. Over here on the right, you get this preview of how that would look. And save. And again, in the editor, it looks as it did until you click into it, and then you get your preview. It shows you there. Update that, back on the page, reload that. Let's have a look. Big text underneath, and the other two have been unaffected by that change.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it begs a question. Obviously, our parish council isn't very big, and we've got probably quite a few static pages or pages per se, and just a growing number of posts. A lot of functionality in there in the pages section, which I guess for the size of our council, we're not going to use or get that benefit from really, because in the main we're going to be doing posts.
Yep, that's right.
Is that right? That would be correct.
That's right. I mean, we've for pages especially, there's lots of tools here that you can use. We don't say use every single one. You don't need to. It's for your own needs. But if for some reason you wanted to put a tab box in there, you can do that. You've got the option to bring in that in there and build the page as you see fit. Yeah. Galleries are the really useful ones. So media elements, and you've got your horizontal galleries or your masonry galleries. They're really useful.
Okay.
To have. There's a lot of them that I'm taking out now. So team member, we don't include that anymore because that doesn't relate to councillors. We've got our own councillors part over here. So there's a few things that maybe more than you would ever need, I think, is what I'm trying to say with that. Just loads of options though. So icons is quite a nice one as well if you want to put an icon in anywhere. So you could put an icon down here. We're building a new theme at the moment that has icons included, just to give a bit more visual to the page.
Yeah.
I like that. So I'm going to put that there and update that. Maybe I want to put now a 2/3 column over here on the right. It should go in. Didn't seem to like that. I'm going to clone that one and just expand that as well. That's another tool you can do. You can resize your columns.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a quick tool, isn't it? Yeah.
And what I want to do now is just put in a image. So media elements, drag an image down, click into it to set it up, click into the image again, choose let's go with coronavirus. Down here on the right hand side, this is where you've got all your different, as you said before, Steve, your different attachment display sizes. Okay. It's all in pixels, so gives you an idea of how big that image would be if you know your pixel sizes. Gallery is quite a good size image, I think, for in a page like we're doing, and insert that. You have a few more options on styling and image hover effects, and if you want it to link to somewhere, add a caption, add animation. Yeah, let's fade in. Let's see what that does. And save. And update. And let's have another look. There we go. So I've got my image, I've got my thumbs up icon over here on the left, and my text as well. But very quick, very basic page, created very quickly. More options for different things. I would say explore some of these, Steve, if you wanted to, if you really wanted to have a look around, see what they all do. The standard ones that we use the most: text. Separator white space is quite good to separate things out. Special heading, always used. Sometimes we'll use an icon. Sometimes we use notification boxes and promo boxes. They're quite good. I'll give you a little preview of what that looks like. You have text over here on the left and a click me button on the right. Buttons as well. They're useful things to have. A button so you can link people to things. Tables are good as well if you want to put a table in there. I'll probably stick with that, to be honest. I'll probably stick with that. Media elements, masonry galleries, slideshows. These are all the different slideshows that we've got. We're using one on the home page at the moment as well. There's an audio player built in, so if you want to start recording your meetings, by all means, you can upload your audio file that way. Which is something actually that's a bit of a hot topic at the moment with everyone doing a virtual meeting.
Well, yeah, and I set up the Zoom, and we've had 2 meetings, but it's now decided that because we're not mandated to hold video conferencing meetings that they've decided that we won't hold any more at this time.
Okay.
So yeah, so
fair enough. Absolutely. So a lot of options there. And again, you've got the attachments at the bottom. You've got your featured image. You've got your layout settings as well.
Okay, yeah. Well, now you're giving me an update. I can see maybe some of the things that I wasn't getting the full use out of. Yeah, I understand that. That's all pretty straightforward for me.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And there we go. I'll put my promo box in at the top. And
of course, once you've created that, I think, as you said earlier on, and I'm familiar with, you would have to go add that to a menu somewhere or a link on somewhere to get to it. To
get to this page. So it's very hidden at the moment. If we did want to add it to the page, if we wanted to add it to the menu, we go down to the appearance and menus link. And this is where you get, of course, your the menu that we have at the top of the website. It's depicted here in a vertical list rather than the horizontal, which we see.
I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
Indented items show that they are drop downs of that item. So about the council is a drop down underneath the council, and we see that when we hover over the council, we have the drop downs there. To add to it, of course, tick a box. From your most recent page is going to be test page because we've just created it. It's at the top of the list. Add to menu. Not a lot looks like it's happening, but it's actually dropping it right to the bottom. We don't get a lot of feedback from the site. When we do that, it doesn't really tell us or points us down to where it is, but it's at the bottom of the list. Now I've added 2, of course, and we can drag up, put it into position where we want it to go.
Yeah. And then you just drag it out for a submenu, yeah.
Absolutely that. But I don't want that there, so I'm just going to remove that as well. Okay. And I'm going to delete that test page just by clicking into delete it. Move to bin.
Okay. Can we just while we're on pages then? Obviously not without changing anything. Just run through the home page for me.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, am I jumping ahead?
No, not at all. So the home page again, it's visually set up in the same way that you can relate to. So if we have a look at how this is broken up, so underneath the title bar, we have your slideshow of images here. Then we have our welcome box over here on the right with a photo, bit of text and 3 buttons. If we look at the page editor for that, we have our slideshow over here on the left, easy slider. We have our welcome box, images, text, and then our row of 3 buttons. Absolutely. So these are 3 column boxes here, icon at the top, text below, button. That's all it is. So if you want to change any of that, click into one, change the text, change where it links to, and you're done there. Latest news items as well. It does bring in latest news posts, of course. So the news items that we were talking about puts them on the home page at the bottom. They may be a bit low. You might want to say, well, actually, we want it to be a bit more visually obvious when we get onto the page. Have it moved up a little bit. So you could move these boxes down, put the latest news above that if you wanted.
Yeah, understand.
There's no right or wrong, really. It's all based on feedback, and it's based on how you use the website. Saying that you've got the link here to agendas and minutes, which is duplicating what's up here. It is. We like to think that we're giving people who don't maybe use this menu the option to get there. And I think as long as we're accommodating every different user, or trying to at least, I think we'll do okay with that. It's a difficult one sometimes, but I know what you're saying. Absolutely.
Okay.
So back on that home page, if you did want to do anything else, by all means, you can duplicate your content boxes. You can jazz them up a little bit as well. So maybe you want to have a different background color or different font sizes, or hide them on different screens as well. So you can hide things on mobiles only, or show things on desktop only. You have a few options there to do that. If you did want to put a different background color on there, you can use your color section layout element, bring that down, put that text in that, change the color section background. Let's go with a yellow color. Terrible color to use, but let's go with that.
You're not the graphic designer then.
No, not today. let's leave that there and say, let's just have a quick look. It's something with colours, especially. We've got to think of it now from the accessibility point of view, because of course that is a little bit difficult on the eye, to be honest. But you can see what we've done there. We've put a text box background colour, changed that as well. And that was very quick, very quick to do. I wouldn't say do anything that quickly. And then update.
Okay.
Okay, so there's definitely a few options, a few things to look at, and always recommend maybe just trying a new page, setting up something new, seeing what you can do. So with the statutory documents, right, I see what you've done on this page. And maybe
if I had more time, I probably would have put some graphic images on and buttons, like a box which said annual accounts, and you clicked it. But I just wanted to get something up very quickly.
No, that makes sense. What we did do is create this strategic documents page, which was the designated page for that, really.
Yes. So I could link to this page, but he wanted to go directly into the period, and I couldn't see how to do that.
Exactly that, and it's about knowing where to go and what to do when you get there. So this is documents. This is that part that we were looking at for documents over here on the left-hand side. So we can jump to that. If you're happy with pages for now, Steve.
Yeah, that's okay.